Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Let's talk about it and bridge the gap next on the Given a Purpose podcast. Welcome to the Giving a Purpose podcast, where we bridge the highs, the lows, the lessons learned through life's journey, and filling in the gap. You already know what it is. Come here. Yep. Come here. It's a new week. That means your attitude needs to get right. That means you need to focus on your goal. Don't let nobody knock you off. I need you to stay in alignment. I need you to have your discipline kick in, because you were committed and you are being consistent. Make sure you don't allow any distractions. You can do this. It can be done. I am your host, Mr. LA. If this is your first time ever coming to the Given a Purpose podcast, I am a self-investment coach helping you to become a better you from the inside out, right? And you know where it starts with? It starts with me. And that me stands for mindset education, right? And that's what I kind of help you with. Help you with that mindset, help you to form new habits, help you to get into a routine that is on the foundation of those things and those ingredients that I just talked about. Discipline, consistency, and commitment. Now, this week, I want to talk to you guys about something that's important and something that we all fall into sometimes. All right. It's called self-destruction. Listen, I know there's many times we all have this problem, right? It's either we are going back to bad habits that don't result into good things, bad situations that don't result into good things, or we are so hurt sometimes. And something that I realize that I see in other people when I'm helping them and I'm coaching them is that they use it as a defense mechanism because they're hurt, they hurt other people, and they cause self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. So I'm probably taking it back too far for this generation right now. But yeah, Public Enemy, look it up, check them out. But we cause that self-destruction of what we're trying to do in our lives and the goals that we're trying to make and the life that we're trying to live. And it gets so bad sometimes when we're in that self-destruction mode, we go and blame other people when it's really us causing the destruction. Ask yourself, have you ever been in a relationship or been in a situation or been somewhere where you are the problem and not recognizing that you are the problem because you don't self-assess, right? You don't assess yourself first to see what a part of this am I contributing to, right? And then you go and blame other people, right? And because you're hurt, your defense mechanism is to just kill the whole situation, even though it may not have called for that, right? Sometimes you just got to step away. Sometimes you have to have things in place where if you're going through anxiety or if you're having problems and things aren't going your way, you have some steps and things that you go through to make sure that you are making sure, one, yourself, that you're okay, and making sure that it doesn't escalate to a place where you're killing the whole situation and killing the relationships that you may have and killing the situations and the opportunities that you may have. You need to put in place, one, boundaries. You also need to put in place steps, right, to probably bring yourself down just a notch, just a little snizzle, right? Just a little height, so you can get back on track. Because there's so many opportunities that we may ask God or we may have prepared for, but we self-destructed either with bad habits, or we're coming from a place, oh, that's good. We're coming from a place where we haven't healed from, or we haven't healed properly. All right. Just because you don't see where the scar is, right? Sometimes we confuse having a scar with being healed, not knowing there could be internal damage that we may not see, right? That's why it's so important when you're going through this and when you're doing these things, is to, a part of the healing process that's so important is finding out what the issue is. Sometimes we get into a place in our healing process that we try to deal with the reaction. This is something I told somebody before. When you're sick, right? Let's say you have a bad sneeze, or you're sneezing and different things like that. To heal you, I can't just give you tissue. There are a couple of things that we need to figure out why you're sneezing. And once we figure out where it's coming from, now we can diagnose for the healing process. It could be vitamin C, building the immune system. It could be having an antibiotic. You know what I'm saying? Or get you, how we do in our community, find you some tussin. All right? Or something like that. Dealing with what is causing it. You know what I'm saying? Bacteria, virus, or something like that. Giving you tissue only deals with what happens when you sneeze. And you're not getting better because we haven't dealt with the issue. We've only allowed something to help with what happens from the issue and not dealing with the issue. And then once we realize we don't need the tissue anymore, sometimes we think that we're healed, and we're not, because sometimes we still need to boost that immune system. We still need to use an antibiotic or something to kill the viruses or whatever the case may be, right? I think back to, when I had trouble and things going on in my life with my stomach problems. The first thing we had to do was figure out what was the issue. Was it H. pylori? Was it some different type of bacteria? Was it something I ate? Is it these symptoms? Then we can go with the steps, right? And there's a couple of steps to figure those things out. I had to get a scope. I had to do blood tests and different things like that. But what if it was just someone just came in, right? Just was like, oh, your stomach hurt? Take some Tums. Nah, that's not what really really works. Even to the point where, so even with my problems, if we can stay there, I had a lot of issues where my body is producing a lot of acid, right? And because my body is producing a lot of acid, what I realized, some of the prescriptions of the drugs that they were giving me was only to reduce the acid, but it wasn't really healing the ulcers. Now, it was because of the acid reducer, it gives my body time to heal, but it would reoccur. But it wasn't until I had surgery, they had to go on the inside, right? To figure out what was going on to kind of start the healing process. But because we get into situations where we may be hurt as we grow up in life, we may have childhood traumas, we may have adult traumas. But my point I want you guys to understand and to make sure that you bring home and understand, right, is that hurt people. And if we don't deal with the issue, right, we may put ourselves in situations that when we're trying to be better or we're trying to go after our goals, we can self-destruct or kill the opportunity or kill the relationships that we have because we have not come from a place of total healing, and we are destroying the opportunities and the greatness that is inside of us because we are hurt. We are in pain. And we have thought that because on the outside we have gotten a scar, that internally we are healed. Watch out for situations where you're not completely healed and you're causing self-destruction. Listen, I hope this helps somebody. I hope that this ministered to somebody. I hope that internally you self-assess your situation, assess your hurts, assess where you are in your life so you can get to the goals that you have set forth. And don't get to a point where you may get a test, because without that test, you have no testimony. But you may get to a test where you're failing the test and you're self-destruction and killing the opportunities that you may have asked for, that you may have either asked God or put in the atmosphere or wrote down as a goal. But you're killing the opportunity because you don't want to grow, or you're self-destructing at the moment where it's like, I want you to visually look at this. You've gotten to a point where you want to cross this bridge, and then across that bridge is where you want to go. And then you get to the bridge and you blow it up. And then you get up the confidence to do it again. You get to another bridge. And because you have that fear, you're blowing up the bridge again. Don't repeat that cycle. Don't burn the bridge. All right? Let's kind of fill in the gap. Man, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Listen, if this is your first time, I didn't tell you before, but down in that corner right there, hit that subscribe button, click the bells so you can always get these new, fresh episodes every week. All right? I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are blessed. Now, you know what you need to do. The two most important things you can ever do for me. And that is make sure you live on purpose and make sure you live in purpose. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
You've been listening to the Giving a Purpose podcast. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or Google Play to get new, fresh weekly episodes. For more, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.